So today sees the release of Avatar in 4K. But is there an argument for this being a complete waste of money? I believe so. I'm not going to talk about it. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to this review for, well, ain't really a review, I'm saying a review, it's not. I talk about Avatar, this 4K release. Now I'm not a fan of Avatar, in fact I actively avoid watching the film. So you're going to ask the question as to why did you buy it? Why did you? I didn't, my wife did. She wanted it. She wanted it in 4K. My wife doesn't buy a lot of films at all, seriously. She doesn't, she's not into it. But, you know, if I ever say to her, do you want to watch a film? What film do you want to watch? First film she'll mention is Avatar. And I'm like, no, not watching that. Not watching that. So Avatar's come out in 4K. She wanted it. Thusly, you know, I said to her, well, then you buy it. I don't want it. So pre-order's gone in. I bought it. And she has to give me the money for it. She ain't going to give me the money for it. It's going to be me that's bought it for her. But, you know, I mean, you know, it's all a matter of opinion anyway, but I like that. I like that cover art, you know, I do. I like the white cleanliness of it with just the blue sort of A and the characters in it. That works for me, so I can't argue against that. I think that's quite nice. That's the case. I think the white looks great with the black, and inside you have 3 discs, like so. Yeah, the picture looks fantastic. I can't fault that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's good. 3 disc set includes over 3 hours of bonus features, Dolby Atmos. Yeah, it's, you know, but there's a but to this. But is it worth it? And my answer is no. It's not. Me personally, I would never have bought this. The irony is that she ain't going to give me the money and it's me who's bought it, but she wanted it. I'll try and force that money out of her. There we go. So we already have Avatar in this version here, which is the extended Blu-ray collector's edition. That, you know, you got a nice sort of slip with it. It comes out like so. That's your case. I prefer the white case, but case be damned. There's the interior, like so, 3 discs again. We've got some little stickers in there that I put in there that came with some Easter egg, and I've got these lovely lenticular looking art cards in there as well. Fantastic. These are nice. I like these art cards. They're really good. But anyway, that's an aside. Do you know what I'm saying? The problem for me, and what makes these not worth it at all, not even worth picking up, is the fact that, you know, here you have 4K. Now, first of all, I think it's great that this has got a 4K release. I do. I think it's wonderful. And firstly, because obviously now it is a Disney-owned product, and that Disney have put out a 4K for this movie. Fantastic. It gives hope for there to be a copy of The Abyss to come. You know, fingers crossed, but don't hold your breath for that. Aliens even, you know, could we get that in 4K? It sort of gives that little glimmer of hope. And Titanic would benefit from a 4K release as well. All James Cameron movies. Now, the one thing that all of these films have in common, I don't know about Titanic, might be Titanic as well, I can't remember, but is that there is an extended cut of each of these films. Especially Avatar, there's an extended cut. The Abyss, there's an extended cut. And Aliens, as we know, there's an extended cut. This is the extended cut of Avatar, and this version here runs for... Alright, so on here, on this release here, you have the original theatrical cut, which is 155 minutes. the special edition, which is approximately 163 minutes. And then you also have a collector's extended cut, which is approximately 170 minutes. Now, this version on here runs for 162 minutes. Okay, so the special edition is approximately 163 minutes, right? This is a minute shorter, but let's just take that as a printing error as opposed to anything else. So there's a version on here that's 7 minutes longer, 170 minutes long. This is 163 minutes. There's a version that's slightly longer. So for me, in that sense, this is where you've got a question: is it worth the money or not? Because I would like to see the extended cuts of these get a 4K release. Because in a lot of circumstances, the extended cut of a movie is my go-to version of the film. Case in point, Aliens. Now, if Aliens was given a 4K release, right, which would be wonderful, but all you got as a 4K was the theatrical cut and not the extended cut, or The Abyss was given a 4K release, but all you got in 4K was the theatrical cut and not the extended cut. Okay, for The Abyss, I'd be extremely happy, because even if the extended cut was on there as a Blu-ray, it would be an uplift from what it is at the moment, because there is no Blu-ray physical media for it. But Aliens, you know, if all we got was a release that gave us the theatrical cut in 4K and the Blu-ray in of the extended cut, I'd be extremely annoyed. I wouldn't pick it up because I want the longer version of the film. And case in point with Avatar. Now, I don't know Avatar well enough, right? I haven't seen Avatar in a decade, not a film that I watch. But if I sat down and watched it now, there's the argument that I wouldn't even know what was added, what was additional, what isn't additional. So I could probably watch it and get away with it. But if it was a film that I was extremely familiar with, and my go-to version was the 170-minute version off of here, then I'd be questioning the worth of that, because I feel like I am now missing content. Same thing happened to me with X-Men Days of Future Past. Now, when X-Men Days of Future Past hit 4K, I bought it. Not straight away, it was in a sale later on, but only to take it back because I had the realisation that this is just a theatrical cut, not the road cut version. That's not included in 4K. And if I ever watched the film, I watched the road cut version, never watched the other version of the film. So it kind of rendered the 4K moot for me in that sense, in that I just didn't require it as part of the collection, because I would never actually put it in and watch it. Deadpool 2, which again from Fox, fantastic. When you got when you got the 4K of that, it was great. You had both versions on there in 4K. The Super Duper Extended Cut, whatever they called it, was a 4K edition, which is the way to do it. Fantastic. And I've got to take my hats off to Warner Brother for when they released Superman 2 on 4K, because not only was it Superman 2 that was given the 4K treatment, they'd done it with the Richard Donner cut, which could have so easily have just been an additional disc in there as a Blu-ray. And it was just the theatrical cut was given the 4K treatment. So my argument is, you know, part of me does see no worth in releasing these 4Ks when your go-to version is the extended version. And I'm sure I'm not the only person whose go-to version of a film is the extended version. Now, there might be some people out there who that doesn't bother, whose go-to version is actually the theatrical cut. But that's not me. In a lot of these cases, the go-to version is the extended cut. And thusly, I want to see that extended cut on 4K. Now, like I said, Avatar to me, it doesn't make any difference. I'll be honest, I've got this edition here. I can't even say that I've seen all three versions of the film. I've probably watched an extended cut once, but I can't tell you whether it was the 165-minute one or the 170-minute or the 162-minute one or the 170-minute one. Are you familiar with this film? to that extent that you know the differences. Let me know. Also, let me know if this is something that would bug you if you're a fan of the longer version, that you don't get to watch the longer version in 4K. Yeah, so my question is it a waste of money in that perspective, in that sense, from that point of view? Is this a waste of money? I mean, it's great that they've actually done the slightly longer version at 162 minutes and not the 155-minute version, but then why haven't they done the collector's extended cut? That's the bit that I don't understand. Does it add anything to the film? I don't know. Like I said, I've not seen it. I likely won't watch it. You know, I'm certainly not going to say anything. I mean, like I said, if I was choosing one of these to watch anyway, I'd probably watch the shorter version. If my wife said, oh, I want to watch... I mean, I haven't got a choice. If she wants to watch 4K, I've got to watch it in 4K. But if it was like, oh, let's put this on. If I was made to put this on, me personally, by the wife, I'd go, okay, what version are we watching? Let's watch the shorter version, because it's just that much shorter and makes it just that tiny part a bit more bearable for me. Avatar's not really a film for me. It's a film for the wife. Even the second one, it looked great. It did look great. I can't deny that. Avatar does look great. Just narratively speaking, the second one was exactly the same story as the first one in every way, shape or form. And the first one was not an original story anyway. It was a story that, you know, we've seen before in Dances with Wolves, to name but one, which is a far superior film in my opinion. Whenever someone says to me, oh, Avatar, my mind goes, oh, I want to watch Dances with Wolves. There is that. I suppose that's a positive from the film. Yeah, so is it a waste of money? Isn't it? Is it a matter of perspective? This is a question. It's a question. I'm not saying... From my point of view, yeah, I see it as being a waste of money because I'm not getting the full film. But then with Avatar, I'm not familiar enough with the film to know that I'm not getting the full film. So from that point of view, it doesn't really matter. Plus, I'm not a fan of the film anyway. But in some other cases, it would really bug me. It would certainly bug me that, you know, if, you know, The Abyss and Aliens, or A films, Abyss, Aliens, if they'd done it with them, I'd find it bloody annoying. Even Terminator 2, if they'd done it with that, done another edition that was super duper and a far better transfer. I can't even remember what length or what the transfer is on. I mean, not the transfer. I can't remember what version of the film it is that was put into 4K on the Terminator film. Was it just the theatrical cut, or did the extended cut get the 4K treatment? I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts down below on this one. Certainly do. Is this a film that I'm sure a lot of people will pick this up on 4K. Of course they will. It's Avatar, and people seem to love Avatar. But there we go. Let me know. Thoughts below.